Hello everybody, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. We're outside Anfield, where Liverpool have just beaten Newcastle by 2-1. It is the last word, and this video is sponsored by OneFootball. You'll see just on your screen now a QR code that will tell you all the results of the Premier League in the last couple of days, and there's also another Premier League game tomorrow night, so make sure you go onto the OneFootball app after you watch this video. That'd be brilliant. So, God, it's a tough video to do. We've just done the match reaction as well. If you want to give that a watch, that was me. That was extremely tough to do, so I'd appreciate if you give that a watch as well. I don't know why I should start with the starting 11, because I know that's how we do it, but I just... Lee, 90 stupid minute. How gutted are we if after that? Proud of the performance, but ultimately absolutely devastated by that.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep on the positives, because I think normally when you concede a last minute goal, you're normally deflated, you're effing and blinding, you're furious. I'm not proud of the lads today. So I was twisting on, this morning when I did the drive down preview, like, oh, I'm ill, I can't be bothered. Not so much can't be bothered, it's like, I'm not up for it, I'm ill, I'm worn out, travelling 3 times a week, and yes, and give me a good one.
Wednesday night, date night.
Everything has just been a bad week in terms of travelling. I'm just tired. But you know what? They put a performance in tonight, and I kind of grumble against that. I'm proud to be a Toon fan. I don't normally say that after a defeat, but you kind of question every single one of those players. If the starting 11 were sensational tonight. So fair play to Eddie Howe, and especially with the big 4 players missing at night. I was really worried, and that was a great performance.
Sam, the starting 11, there was changes made, and Alexander Isak, we didn't know if he was going to be playing at 10 o'clock this morning. Work permit issues, X, Y and Z. By God, what a debut. What a debut for Alexander Isak tonight. 1 goal, could have been 2 if it wasn't for VAR, potentially like an offside decision. I don't know how tight it was. I'm sure you've seen the replay. I'm sure you'll tell us in the comments below. But that was the main man. That was our £60 million man. What did you make of his debut for Newcastle United today?
I mean, I told you all when we signed him. I told you all. I told you earlier this summer, this guy is the real deal. One for the Magpie group there. He's going to be something special. In the first half, before the goal, he was getting, if you're going to nitpick his performance, he was getting muscled off a bit too often, a bit too easily, but you could see he was learning. He was learning about the Premier League, and he took his goal extremely well. 1 chance, bang, buried it, and the guy is top quality.
Took his second goal, which was disallowed.
Took his second goal very well as well, but to be honest, I didn't celebrate that one because I saw the flag go up. I hate this late flag bullshit from the new offside law. It's absolute bollocks. If it's clearly offside, fucking flag. Apart from that, yeah, Isak was great. The starting 11 in general, when we saw Isak, I bet everyone watching this now would have said Jamal Lascelles. And then
he was brilliant tonight.
He was absolutely fantastic. He looked every inch the player of Jamal Lascelles 4 years ago when people were clamouring for an England call-up. He was phenomenal tonight, proper captain's performance. Him and Trippier, the communication, the leadership, the pride in the performance for the shirt, spot on. I can't fault any of the starting 11. They were phenomenal. We were just short with options off the bench.
First half, I thought we were really, really good value for that 1-0 lead. Really, really good value. I think from my point of view, we really frustrated Liverpool. Liverpool only had one real opportunity of no real great opportunity, and that's when Diaz goes round Nick Pope, slightly acute angle, but blazes over the crossbar. But that was the best it got for Liverpool in terms of Newcastle. Kieran Trippier had a free kick, was straight at Alisson. Obviously, it was almost pretty much where you saw it at Molineux, Lee, just a little bit to the left. But half time, couldn't have asked any more of Newcastle. It was probably just one, nitpicking maybe slightly. It's just, just maybe. Don't give Sal. No, maybe I don't want to nitpick, but it's after the game. It's so literally 10-15 minutes after the full-time whistle when we're doing this video. We'll not nitpick. We'll leave it for a Crystal Palace preview or something. But first minutes of the second half, it was more or less the same. Liverpool was getting so frustrated. Isak puts the ball in the back of the net. Linesman rules out for offside in the end, and then must have just about got it right. And then Roberto Firmino equalises. Salah just finding a little bit of space, lays it on a plate for Firmino, 1-1. But Newcastle were still pretty solid.
We were solid, but the second half, Liverpool were getting more and more. We weren't getting out of our box as much, but the first half was brilliant, as you say.
Understandable, though.
Yeah, it is understandable, because look at them, the Champions League team. They won the Premier League. They won, how many Champions League? 6, is it? Whatever it is now. We want to be on that level eventually. But, in the short time from literally from January to now, which is 8 months, Liverpool struggled to beat a side which effectively had 4 really strong key players who would easily start every week for us. So, but yeah, you're all right. Second half, there was a lot more pressure. We were inviting them on, understandably. And as Sam says, the quality of the bench isn't quite there. We've said that all summer. It'll be an interesting deadline day tomorrow. Of course it will if we bring anyone in on loan, probably. But yeah, I'm sure you'll talk about the goal.
Need another winger.
Yeah, I think that's screaming out for me. I've got nothing against Jake Murphy. I like him a lot in terms of what he is. He's a Newcastle United fan, but what did he bring? There was times where he just wanted to run with the ball, relieve a little bit of pressure on us, and he was just getting tackled, and it was just coming back and coming back. I don't want to nitpick on him personally, but it's the small margins, isn't it, Sam? When you look at it now.
Yeah, it is, and let's not forget we're playing a team of immense quality that can turn a mislaid pass into a whirlwind of a counter-attack. They're that good, and we've pushed them all the way tonight. We really have, with again the injuries we've come here with and a couple of changes here and there. We've pushed them all the way. I'm just so immensely proud of this team. When you look back at where we were this time 12 months ago, it's just chalk and cheese. I'm just immensely proud of that performance, that effort, the ovation the team gave the fans at the end of the game, stood in front of us. Kieran Trippier was there for ages. It was just, there's a real connection and a bond with the club again.
It goes to show you how well we played that Anfield was quiet again.
Oh, they booed our team off, so that was classy.
I think that's because of a bit of a carry-on on the touchline. I think Fabian Schär was getting involved. I think the assistant was getting involved. So
lucky Joe Linton hadn't gone off the pitch. Shit would have hit the fan.
I think obviously if you're a Liverpool fan watching this, you'll be going about the time waste and Nick Pope taking his time. But you're an opposition team at Anfield. You're going to be doing stuff like this. This is how you try and kill the game if possible. Newcastle, we're doing brilliantly, defending brilliantly, frustrating Liverpool.
Anfield was quiet.
Anfield's quiet, frustrated, getting irritated. 5 minutes of injury time. At 95th minute, Joe Linton, after being played through by Willock, is on the counter-attack. If I'm Eddie Howe, I'm screaming at Joe Linton, Lee, put it in the corner.
I did. Didn't I say that you?
It's not the Newcastle way.
I know it's not.
But should it be the Newcastle way?
You've got to go at the corner. We're under pressure for so long in that second half. You've got to go at the corner and take a point, and a point's a great point. Look
at Anfield, a point at Anfield. This is a side that lost the league by a point.
This is Liverpool Football Club.
Look at the team we put out. That's a great performance tonight. Yes, it's a sucker punch that Carvalho scored, but what a performance, man! You've got to be proud tonight. I can't question the lads. Brilliant.
No. Maybe Eddie Howe might mention that behind the scenes, but
the referee was a joke, like.
Yeah, we'll mention. I'm sure Andre Marino will get a few mentions. Liverpool go up the other end, get a corner. Milner's cross, Sam, met by Joe Gomez and Carvalho closing in.
It was just a melee, wasn't it?
I've heard that before.
A bit of a confusion. Yeah, he lives in the West Midlands as well.
I've heard that before. Collymore closing in.
Yeah, Collymore lives in the West Mids near me.
Did he?
Got done for some mischievous behaviour, but anyway.
Allegedly.
No, not that. I'll tell you after.
Oh, car parks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes,
anyway, we digress. What was the question? Oh, the goal. Yeah, just melee, confusion at the back between a couple of our outfield players.
Who's at fault?
Andre Marino.
Yeah, we can't blame anyone yet, so we haven't seen it back. We've just literally come on the ground.
If I'm Nick Pope, I'm taking defenders' heads off to get that ball and clasp it with two hands and fall to the floor, and then that's it, full time. Personally,
we haven't seen it again. I haven't seen it again. But I do agree with Sam. If that's what I've seen, I think I do believe that. That's what I've seen. Got to just go out and claim it or punch it away. Pretty nine times out of 10, referee blows his whistle straight after. But he did blow his whistle straight after the goal. Anfield's roof just about blew off.
Convenient, wasn't it?
Blew off. It was probably the loudest they were all night. But they do come away with all 3 points. Let's see what Eddie Howe has to say after his first defeat as Newcastle manager this season.
Yeah, I thought we got a really good performance from the players. First half, I thought we were very brave. We pressed them high. We tried to disrupt their rhythm. We executed that really well. In a different way to our game against Manchester City, I felt we had to be a little bit more controlled today. Thought we defended very well for large parts of the game. I thought we really minimised their ability to play through us. Probably the only time, not the only time, but one of the few times they scored their first goal. But overall, very pleased with the commitment and unity shown from the group tonight, and bitterly disappointed with the end.
And we're back at Eddie Howe. Devastated, but very, very proud. I think that's just what Newcastle United fans are probably feeling as they leave Anfield tonight. Lee, in terms of the table, if we won it, we'd put us 5th. I don't know. All I know is Man City were 5-0 up. Spurs and Arsenal were both winning by a goal to 0. And Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0. Am I missing any other games? I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm sure there'll be a graphic at the table very, very shortly. It's probably going to put us in about mid-table, but is the big thing before... I'll let Sam talk about the transfer window and the deadline day, but do you think the big thing for Newcastle is the game on Saturday against Crystal Palace is how we react to this?
Yes, we've now got favourable fixtures. So we've played City, we've played Liverpool early on the season. 2 of them are going to be competing, you would think, right at the end of the season for the Premier League, and both of them struggled against us. Again, that's how far we have come as a football club. Both of them have struggled. One needs a 98th minute winner and the other one couldn't beat us. So, yeah, but going back to Palace and the fixtures coming up after that, West Ham, Bournemouth, we're Fulham, haven't we, on the horizon. They're on paper winnable fixtures in Newcastle. Because we've come so far, we'll be looking at those fixtures and thinking, can we get 10 points from those 4? Why not?
It's interesting, isn't it, Sam, because... this I mentioned this time last year, we were still trying to negotiate something with Hamza Chowdhury, but Mike actually decided to pull the plug on that. Now,
Looked good in black and white the other night, didn't he?
Yeah, he
For Watford.
He did all right, didn't he? But
So did Dele Alli.
yeah, Dele Alli, yeah. But obviously there'll be a lot of reports probably linking Newcastle United maybe with late moves. Some reporters have already suggested that Newcastle are done business-wise. I still think tomorrow or tonight or whenever you watch this, maybe today if it goes out on so welcome to deadline day. Welcome to deadline day. But if Newcastle do something, it's going to be something maybe slightly unordinary because Tielemans has been linked. £20 million, maybe £25 million will take him away from Leicester. Would you do that deal, or are you looking, can we get a winger on loan? Because I think that's what this side is desperately lacking.
Yeah, I mean, the injuries to Shelvey and Bruno, although Bruno's isn't supposed to be too serious. Maybe he could be back for Saturday, I don't know. That's kind of accelerated things, though, hasn't it? Tielemans would be a great buy, but it's the biggest bullshit day ever going, deadline day, isn't it? So
Yeah, you'll have 20 players linked.
Exactly. So, I mean, look, the options we've had on the bench were, slim to none, wasn't it? It was pretty poor what we had to bring on.
But with the 4 or 5 players that we're missing that you've mentioned, that bench is a lot stronger.
We're building a squad, and we do have to be slightly careful if reports to be believed, because.
Do you want to say that in my face?
Because at the end of the day, the point is we've got financial fair play to worry about. So transfers if we do deals now, that might impact future transfer windows.
I'm getting a few little shouts, but I can't really understand them.
Go and get a Chelsea winger on loan.
Yeah, but who though? That's a problem because Callum Hudson-Odoi's got to buy Leverkusen.
You'll take anyone, wouldn't you?
Would you put us with the sell
Ziyech to us? I'll take Ziyech. I'll take any one of them. Pulisic will probably be the glamour one. I'll take any one of the Chelsea loans. If we've got look, I don't think Eddie Howe's daft enough to say on his press conference that it's probably a loan if we do something, and I'll go and get a Chelsea winger. It's better off the bench because you've got Jacob Murphy, and Jacob Murphy's not.
We just need that. I think that one winger, and I think everyone will be quite happy with the squad. I think even if we don't do anything, Sam, you'd be relatively happy with that squad, considering that everybody's been linked under the sun, with Newcastle since the last game of the season against Burnley. So in terms of the window itself, we are a lot stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. Worst comes worst on deadline day. There's no incomings, and Dubravka goes. Maybe Federico Fernandez goes. That's it. We may well be done for business, but it's been
closed.
Yeah, it may. But we've had a fantastic window. Sven Botman, Alexander Isak. That'll ding dang do for me. I mean, if we can get one other in for a winger, that would be great because that is a missing piece of the puzzle. But I'm hopeful more than expectant.
I'm hopeful, but I'm very, very proud after watching that team today.
Fans, eh?
Yeah, that's my little bugbear, but it is what it is. Look, get your comments in. Who was your man of the match tonight? My man of the match,
Andre Mariner.
Alexander Isak was unbelievable today. Shout out Jamal Lascelles. I thought he was a colossus at the back as well. Trippier was.
Joe Linton. Willock.
The whole team, potentially.
Matty Target.
Matty Target.
Yeah.
Miggy.
Miggy. Jesus
That
Christ.
turn he did on Andy Robertson.
He had
fuck
Robertson
me.
on
Oh.
toast. He had Maxi the other week
Creaming.
with Kyle Walker. Miggy had the beating of Robertson.
Nick Pope as well. Yeah. Some good saves as well. But look, it's a devastating defeat.
Dan Burn.
Alan Shearer, Ant Deck.
Ryan Fraser.
Ant Deck.
Jacob Murphy.
I've seen Steve Watson as well, man of the match. Look, it's obviously been one of those performances that Newcastle United will be ultimately proud of, but ultimately don't get anything from it. Can we bounce back at Crystal Palace at St James's Park on Saturday? We'll have to wait and see. Big thanks to Lee, big thanks to Sam, big thanks to everybody watching. Like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll see you all on Saturday.